Hey everybody, it's Angela Perry here with Drops of Paradise, going live for my first video on my self-care page. I am so excited for this self-care page. It's just an idea that came to me and I was so excited about it, I just had to do it. The reason why I wanted to do this is because self-care has sincerely helped my entire life change around. So if I can just help one other person's life change around, that's really all I'm looking for and wanting. So to get started, I wrote down there was 5 areas of therapeutic self-care. You have your physical, your spiritual, your lifestyle, your emotional, mental, which we're going to start on quickly today, and your people support. So those are 5 areas that I found that are very significant in being able to find yourself, learn to love yourself, get through different things in your life. Today I'm just going to start off with working through grief on the emotional side, because it is one of the reasons why I found self-care and was able to do a lot of stuff in my life. Ooh, and there's some bees around here too, and it's a little windy, so I really hope you guys can hear me okay. So there's actually about 10 steps when you're working through your grief on the emotional side, and the first one really is you have to seek and accept support. There's tons of counselors out there. I found I only needed a life coach slash business coach now, and with her, she has changed my life completely. I absolutely love you, Megan. Thank you. You need support and care from others, a trusted family member, a friend, going to church. I found Live Your Essence coaching from Megan. And grief is so many different ways. It can be a loss of a loved one, a loss of a parent, a loss of a job, grieving about almost anything this can apply to. It doesn't just have to be a loss of a person. You have to accept your grief because you need to experience the pain and sorrow. I held it in for 5 years after my mother passed away. 5 years of holding in grief. You have to accept it to understand it. You know, there's different ways to be able to do that. You can meditate. You can use essential oils. Take a hot bath. Lie in a hammock. Do some journaling. Have a good cry. Any of those are great. Also, know that you're not alone. Find someone who understands and who really cares and can empathize with you about everything. It's a very, after 5 years of not even trying to find someone to talk to empathize with, and be able to find almost everybody in my whole family and friends that I can talk to, and they were also understanding, and you just have to get through it and try. Ooh, and there's a bee around again. Yee. You have to learn about grief. That's something I really didn't know about. You know, I took 5 minutes to realize that a grief is normal, but sometimes it can be more complicated, you know, and there's different forms of help too for that, and different forms of help to be able to cope. Knowledge is power. You know, I took a depression and an anxiety test and basically was off the charts on both of those. So once I figured that out and realized that and did a little bit of searching and understood what it meant, it changed my life once again. Because then I had to express my grief now that I understood it. You know, something, I cried, you can yell, you scream, you listen to music, you write. I wrote horror stories, short horror stories. I know, extremely morbid, but you know what? It made me feel better. Paint, journal, you know, and expressing these alone or in a group or with a single person that you can trust can all be extremely beneficial. All of them. You know, a coach, family talks. I went and yelled at the stars. I pound my feet into the mud and yell and scream for different reasons. because I had to go on sick leave, because my mom died, because, you know, it was all this pity, pity, pity me. But during self-care, you realize not to do that, and you learn how to contrast and learn how to make your thoughts turn around into very positive, full of abundance and joy thoughts, and you can accept it. You know, because once you accept those feelings, you will bring new feelings into your life, and some of them can be quite upsetting, you know, and that's really what happened to me. All of a sudden I had these feelings of guilt and guilt and more guilt and guilt and guilt, and couldn't understand why. And, you know, and my coach said to me once, you know, is there something guilty you're feeling about your mother? And there was. And once I got rid of that feeling of guilt, you don't hold, because I'm not holding it in anymore. I literally healed, and like that day, I started understanding myself, literally that day. The other thing you need to start doing is taking it easy. It can be exhausting, you know. It takes energy to heal, lots and lots of energy. You know, so don't overschedule yourself, and definitely rest when you need to rest. Listen to your body, because it will tell you when you need to rest. And if you don't, you will burn out. Trust me, I did. I hit rock bottom because I wouldn't rest, and it's now taken me a whole year to get back to being who I used to be 10 years ago. So, and try and get involved with something. You know, I ended up getting involved with Young Living essential oils because it got me focused on something else besides my own life. And that's sometimes what you need. And especially if it's something you can do to help others, it'll raise your own spirits and your own level of joy and healing. The other thing you need to do is have a good time and go out. I did not do that for 5 years. I didn't go out. I barely did anything. I stayed at home. All I did was work. Because sometimes you might feel like you're dishonoring the reason of your grief, but you're not. You're embracing it. Because really, laughter is really the best medicine. One time I went to a kids' play park indoors with my best friend and her little boy. And I played with him in that little play park, through the slides and through all the balls. It was just so much fun. I was very exhausted at the end of the day, but it made me feel alive again, and like I was worth being there for someone else for a little bit. So thank you, Chantel, for that. And the last thing is, you know, you have to know that you will heal. You will get over this. I will be here to try and help you. So if you have any questions, make sure you let me know, post below. And, you know, and share this page with other people that you think might benefit with learning about self-care. I literally set alarms on my clock for 5 minutes every hour, so I can take 5 minutes just to stop and breathe and think about my thoughts. And if I'm having any negative thoughts, I try and turn it around into a positive thought and learn how to heal. And ways I do that is I come outside like I am now. I look at flowers. I use my essential oils. Some of the best ones that I've used to literally get over my emotional state is a kit called the Feelings Kit, which has forgiveness, harmony, inner child, which is my favorite, inner child, present time, release, and valor. And those are some of the best oils that you can use topically to help bring about your feelings. And this is kind of what they look like when the box is opened. And it takes about 30 minutes to use them all. And there is a little booklet about how to use them. And me and my husband did that each for a month. Every night we did it on each other, and we both felt amazing. So that was my self-care for that month. Every half an hour was him and I sat down together and did that. The other two oils that I absolutely love for emotional healing is Joy and Cedarwood, because Cedarwood helps me sleep. Cedarwood does amazing things for you and your mindset. Same with joy. Joy brings you joy. Put a drop on the top of your head and see what happens in 5 minutes. You'll be amazed, just like I was. And basically, I wanted to leave you with a great quote, and I just wanted to tell you that tomorrow I will be talking about how to cope with the physical effects of grief, and a little bit more about my essential oils and a little more detailed self-care post. So I just want to leave you with, grief is a nasty game of feeling the weakest you have ever felt, and then morphing it into the strongest person you will have to become. And trust me, you will become the strongest person you ever thought. That quote is from Wingate Lane. So I hope you enjoyed this and kind of learned a little bit more about what I'm going to do with this page. Mostly, again, it'll be just a few minutes of actual my self-care routines when I'm doing self-care and why, when these different things come up. Like tomorrow, if I have some physical effects of some grief that I'm still dealing with, that's when I'm going to go live and talk to you about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I hope you all have a great day and a great evening, and if you have any questions, please post below or message me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace, love.